I think one important question that comes to mind when the issue of jackpotting or relocating comes up is my relationship or marriage jackpot proof? Can it stand the test that is ahead? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go explore this together. Hello again and welcome back to my channel. Whoop, 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 whoop. Thank you for sticking with this crazy girl. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for sharing my link, and also thank you for subscribing. If you're new on here, my name is Betta and this is Bounce with me, and I hope you stay here after watching. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and please keep sharing those links. Thank you so much for sticking with me. So to the business of today, let's go there. So today we'll be talking about Japa and relationships. You get? So a relationship is not just marriage, but I'd like everybody to be able to relate. Yeah, so I'll not be speaking just on marriage alone. I'll be speaking on courtship and whatever relationships that is out there. Yeah, so for context, because not only Nigerians will be viewing this video, a lot of other people will be viewing it from different countries. So Japa in this context is relocation, leaving your home to somewhere else for the better life, for more opportunities and all that. Whatever reason it is, Japa is relocation. So when I say Japa, you understand what I am saying. Okay, so everyone knows that there's Japa fever in the air. Everybody is moving. Most people are moving. Let me not say everybody. I'm not going to generalize, because there are some people that still feel they don't have to move, which is fine. Okay, so we'll be focusing on those who feel they have to move. Yeah, and how relationships come into play when these goals have to be pursued, or you have to leave where you are to go chase after better opportunities and a better life. Yeah, so stick with me, let's get right to it. So I live in the UK, so like you already know, this channel is about my experiences, my opinion, so you don't have to take everything word for word. Just pick what you need and discard the rest. Yeah, because I don't know it all. I'm just talking from my own personal experiences and experiences of people I have been opportune to speak to or mingle with or hear their stories. So that's what I'm basing my gist on. So don't take it personal. Yeah, and then people are, oh, these UK people don't come again. I beg, no vex. Don't be upset. I apologize in advance because I live in the UK, so my experiences should be around the UK. Yeah, you get. So this is why I'll be making references to the UK more, because this is the place I live in. You get. I feel like the UK, US, Canada, they're like similar, in the way they operate. Okay, so it's not a generalized notion or a generalized opinion. Like I said, it's my own opinion, and it's based off of where I live and my story and the stories of people I've an opportunity to meet and mingle with. Yeah, so first off, if you're getting into a relationship and you already have plans, this goes both ways, for the male, for the female. Yeah, you already have plans to japa at some point, to relocate at some point. Part of the questions you should be asking your spouse or your partner should be, what are your plans? Like, where do you see yourself, all that stuff. Yeah, but you should also include to ask them if they see themselves leaving the country where they are for better opportunities outside. That will help to know the kind of person you are getting into a relationship with. At the same time, that will also help you make informed decisions, because I have heard of cases where one person wants to go, the other person doesn't want to go. And this is not marriage now, we're talking about single relationships, courtships and stuff. The other person doesn't want to go because what is my own? Why am I going outside the country? What am I looking for? Or oh, I can make it here. I don't need to leave, or maybe family ties and all that stuff. And then conflicts will now arise because the main discussion you're supposed to have, you're not having it, you're busy drinking pepper soup and eating burger. It's of you to ask questions that you're supposed to ask. You did not now ask it. Wahala will not boss where you have gone further and it's not difficult to like part ways or something. And then everybody will, oh, let's just see how it goes. Let's patch. From there, quarrel will start because this one wants to go follow her dreams. Or God say, no, I don't want to go outside the country. I want to be here. How are you going to sort out a distance marriage? That will be another wahala. You get. So, for context, wahala is trouble. I should do what's it called? A vocabulary section where I get to like say everything. I'm saying that their meanings. I'm sorry, I'm so Nigerian. Part of the questions should be, what are you going to do there when you relocate? What are the prospects like? Both of you have to sit down and talk about these things. I know they are difficult conversations, but they are necessary conversations because things that they occur on the streets, they are not even funny anymore. And I personally feel it's lack of communication. People were not having the conversations they should be having. And that's what led up to the point where they found themselves. Yeah. So what are my prospects? If I go there, I am not a nurse, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not IT inclined. So if I go there, I am going like without any job already waiting for me. So what can I do? That's where both of you have to put heads together and decide what you want to do, what you're going to do when you get there and all that stuff. So if you are coming as a student, you already should know what is expected. I'm not going to start telling you what is expected of students or whatever. You should know. Okay, you should know how much it will cost to rent a house, because obviously students are not supposed to work more than specific hours. That you should also have. Okay, all right. So the other person is going to be working. The other person is obviously schooling, because if you fail, you will go back home. Okay. So what if I'm working? How much is the bill that we can obviously afford? And how much will I be bringing to the house? How are we going to cope with bills? If children come, how are we going to cope with them? Because that's another story. Anyway, how are we going to cope? How are we going to manage and all that stuff? That should come into the plan too, where you guys are putting heads together to know what are we going to do when we get there. Yeah, so we all know that when you come into a new space, especially the Western world, you don't have any ready-made job ready for you, except you are a nurse, a doctor, or an IT specialist that has gotten a job from back home and you come here. Most times you don't have a job waiting for you here, yeah, except in these conditions we have mentioned. So when you come, most times it's just advisable to get something doing, menial stuff, menial jobs. Yeah, you have to do menial jobs. Then you start applying or doing courses that will make your CV more needed or whatever. You have to start doing courses and all that stuff. So in that time, you have to do menial jobs. Ask yourself, are you ready to do menial jobs? First of all, that's very important. Have this conversation. However you want to say it, African men have pride in them. There's nothing you want to tell me. Most African men, let me not generalize, most African men have pride in them. So you have to have this conversation with your partner. If we get there and there is nothing to do in your field, are you willing to do these jobs while I school? Or if it's your wife, same conversations, because some women too will tell you, no, I can't do menial jobs. Yeah, so it's not just the men we are about today. So they can say, I can't do this, I can't do that. Yeah, you guys have to have this conversation, because you can't come here now and start fighting or start quarreling, or you know that kind of thing. It's just one kind. You are supposed to have agreed back home, okay, this is what I will do to support, this is how many hours I can work, this is how much I can bring in to support, this is that. You have to have these conversations. I'm sorry, it's difficult, but you have to have it. Okay, so if this person is not inclined with what you want to do. For example, I meet someone and the person is saying, oh, I don't want to move out. I just have two options. You have to go ahead and tell myself I'm going to convince this person, or I move to the next person. Yeah, because sometimes you find out that you squeezed yourself to how like put it, to make someone feel better, and in the end the person tells you, I didn't ask you to, and you start feeling bad. You start feeling like your life has gone ahead and your life has not gone past where you wanted to go past, and then resentment will start. So if you know it's going to get to resentment and it's still in the early stages of relationship, I would advise, so move next door. Simple and short. Also, it's very possible that the person is not sure if he or she would want to japa at some point, and sometimes they're not sure, and sometimes at some point they will have to like accept to japa. So it's a dicey one, but anyway, let your heart guide you, let your intuition guide you. If you know this person is someone that is kind enough, loving enough, and someone that will want to see you grow, I want to support you, why not? At least at some point maybe the person will change his mind. Never can tell. There's nothing Jesus cannot do, there's nothing God cannot do. So okay, so you are married, yeah, and you want to japa. What are the questions you should ask? Okay, I think it's same for singles dating or in courtship. It's the same questions. Like, you would want to ask your partner first, is this what we want to explore? And if this is what we want to explore, how do we explore it? It's the same thing, financial obligations, the fact that you might not get the job you are used to here, the fact that gender roles will be an issue. These things needs to be talked about. Gender roles will be an issue. How are you going to cope with childcare? How are you going to sort out bills? How are you going to go through the system together? I'm telling you the truth. And also, most importantly, make sure your marriage is japa proof. Before you carry your jigida and be coming here, make sure I was saying the other day that if your marriage does not break in the abroad, it will never break. My opinion, though, is not written in stone, because a lot of things will go down when you japa. A lot of things will go down, and it's going to test you. It's going to test your patience. It's going to test your sanity. It's going to test everything, and it will test your marriage. Oh God, it will test your marriage on every level. So you have to make sure your marriage is japa proof before you carry your bag. And you also have to make sure that you guys have had a conversation. I'm telling you, have these conversations. It's uncomfortable, but you have to have them. You have to ask, if you get there and you don't get the job you are used to, how are we going to cope? Are you ready to get your hands dirty till what you deserve? Imagine a story of someone that brought in her husband and her kids, having two kids, and then the man is saying, I cannot do this job, I cannot do this job, I cannot do this job. And this lady has to go to work. She's a nurse. She has to go to work. She has to come back home. This same man, I cannot do this job, I cannot do this job, I cannot do this job, is the same person that's going to sit on the couch all day trying to apply for jobs. He's not going to tend to the children. He's not going to make dinner. He's not going to do anything, because he also feels that is a woman's job. You see, gender roles. And then this lady will come back and she's stressed out, and she's, with all the stress and everything she's had to go through in the hospital, she's coming back home to come and be fixing dinners, come and be bathing kids, come and be doing homework, while this oga has been sitting at home applying for jobs. According to him, he's applying for jobs because he cannot do mega jobs. Okay, just imagine you are the one going to work every day. You are the one paying all the bills. You are the one feeding the home. You are the one doing all the chores. Just how stressed that woman would be. How stressed she would be. So you're not helping her financially. You're not helping her in the house. So what else exactly are you doing? You're just helping to sap the remaining energy from her. She's going to go into depression. At some point, her mental health will start shaking, and then she might even start falling sick because she's stressed out. So you came all the way from Nigeria to just sit at home and be applying for jobs. Oh God, Obi, hey, this weekend bills also keep somebody. It's just easier when you have someone sharing the burden with you, like you are splitting bills, even if it's not 50-50, at least something, you are contributing something. Women are not left out though. There's some women that will still come here, student visa, oh no, I'm not allowed to work so hours, so you will do all the providing. Haba, even if it's small thing, even if it's you just buying food in the house, it has taken that part of the burden away from him. So why say, I'm allowed to work only these few hours, so I cannot help, I cannot, my money, I'll use it for other things and blah, blah, blah. Why? Or the ones that will still come and they're the ones that are dependent, so they can work and the man is in school and you're saying my money is my money. In this place. Now so what they do for you? No. Here is teamwork. Teamwork wins here. If you're not ready to work as a team, there is no need. Because back home, we can outsource everything. I was telling someone at work the other day that back home, you have people walking around to say, oh, can I wash your clothes on Saturday morning? They just need to wash your clothes and you just give them small money and they've done it. Here, it's not like that. You will do everything by yourself. Even getting a help back home is easier. You can get your sister, cousin, brother, anything to come and help you in the house. Or pata you carry grandma. Or carry the children and go and give grandma if you are stressed out. Here, it's not like that. You will pay for childcare. If you're not paying for childcare, then you have to be available for those kids. And if at any point they find out that the children are not catered for as they should, or maybe your children can't tell them in school that I've not seen my mother, I've not seen my father, they're always dropping me here, they're always doing this, it's trouble. Or when you're supposed to shop for the children, you didn't shop. There's a story of a guy that was trying to match up his wife's income. I think he had to even tell her to stop doing extra shifts because he wanted to feel like the head of the home. Ego again. He wanted to feel like the head of the home. I think there was no part of the story that said she disrespected him in any way, but he was just, now this African man thing. So he wanted to make more money, so he was working back to back, and then he forgot his kids at school. They even brought them home, rang the bell, he didn't answer the bell or something, and social services got involved because they're like, children were neglected, they were left at school and all that stuff. You see, teamwork is very important. Don't lose sight of things like this. I'm sure back home he had a great job and he was the breadwinner and everything, but here it has switched kind of. But I don't see, your partner should be your team player, your teammate, not your competition. You guys should be joining forces to get ahead, not competing against each other. It doesn't work here because the system is built differently from what we are used to back home. So if you're not ready to play with your teammates, there's no need. Honestly, there's no need. You're going to just end up with an unhappy wife, an unhappy husband, or unhappy kids. That's what's going to happen, because the system is already designed to make you work. You have to work to eat. Yeah, we know that. But teamwork is, okay, I'm working today, you go ahead, you watch the kids, tomorrow you work, I watch the kids. So it's like that. Or if you if you can afford childcare, both of you can pay for childcare. But I'm not really that person that says every day the child should be at childcare and everything you get. Because these kids are funny. They can go and say something and say, oh, my daddy is not home, my mom is not home, and then trouble don't start. And even at that, you need to be close to these kids as well to know what's going on in their lives, because the world is not smiling, no. If you don't teach them, they'll teach them outside. And that's going to be very difficult for you to notice, because you're always working, you're always out of the house, there's nobody with them and all that stuff. I know we have to work, we have to survive, but these kids, you cannot miss it with them. Honestly, it's not something I want to do. If I miss anything in this life, let me not miss it with my kid. That's just what I see. While somebody is doing this, another person can help to do that. If your spouse is working and you know they're going to come back tired, why leave the dishes? Why not just help and fix dishes, fix dinner? Yeah, all this price thing. Oh, it doesn't help. Oh, it does not work here. Oh. It does not work. If you want to end up with a happy spouse and happy kids, you have to drop it. You have to drop it at Murtala Mohammed or wherever you're. Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport. Just drop it there before you even climb that plane. Drop it there, because it won't work here. It won't work. It's just going to end up in a very bad taste in your mouth, and you will start asking, oh, it wasn't the spouse I married. Yeah, because you turned them to something else. I've heard of people that come here and they're telling their wives, you must submit your salary to me. Boy. God, you must submit salary. Why? You bring your lording over behavior here. No. You have to be patient. You have to be loving. You have to be involved, supportive. Not trying to tear the poor woman down or make her feel less of a human being. Oga. Be calming down, no. God. There's nothing I will not hear in this place. You have to be willing to sacrifice. It's not business as usual. It's not one person doing the sacrificing every time. You have to be willing to sacrifice. Sacrifice your time. Sacrifice your money. Sacrifice what's it called? Temporary happiness. Sacrifice your ego. Taking care of children is not one spouse's job. Yeah. It's not the mother's job alone. It's the father included. So everybody's hand must be on deck. Yeah? It's not like, oh, this is your own. Let me do my own. No. The only way to get ahead here is when you're working together. And these conversations should be had back home. You should have them. Oh, you don't want to come here and start getting into fights because your wife said something that is not gelling in your ear. You are now giving her buzzballs on her face. Prison is calling your name. Please, keep your hand. Imotala or Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport. Come with the one God gave you. Don't carry that your manly attitude of no woman talks to me that way. While I would not support women speaking to their husbands in degrading manners, yeah, I will not support that any day. But say our mouth sharp. Me, God, if they have been slapping me, from the day I married till now, my chic would have gone to the bank by now because my mouth is not good. I pray to God to help me, but I'm just saying that these things happen when people are angry, tensions are high, words starts flying out. But be able to keep your cool, keep your hands to yourself. The woman might not even report to you. She might not even say anything based on she doesn't want them to trouble to come. But your children are watching you. They go talk her for school, and then somebody's going to say, you're fighting in front of your children. It's messing with their mental health. Before you see small thing, don't turn big wahala. So you have to, when you're coming, drop your ego. Drop your African man pride and mentality back there, because when you come here, you will wash plates. You will clean house. You will clean baby bum. You will change diaper. Except you don't want peace, and you don't want your house to be happy. But these things you will do because there is nobody to do them. I've heard of people that were bank managers in Nigeria. They have like 2 mates living with them. They came here. They are doing everything by themselves. It's not easy to afford a living maid here. It's not cherry cambia. It's serious business, serious money. So if you don't want to spend all those money, you want to channel those money to other important things you guys have to do, then you have to calm down. Bring God your shoulder down. Bring it down. And then you have to help in the house. You have to do chores. Okay? It's not a woman's duty here. So you're packing your bag, your baggage, your okporoko, and your red oil. As you just cross and enter the plane, if you forget to keep it in your house, as you reach airport, drop it in the airport. Drop bad character there. Drop how they call it, pride. Drop, I cannot do this one, I'm not a woman. Drop it there. Drop any small thing, slap, bow. Any small thing, you beat your wife. Hey, drop it there. Women, drop disrespect there. Drop coconut head there. Because the only way to get ahead, like I will always say, is teamwork. You people have to gel. You people have to understand yourselves. Because you're coming to a place where you will be tested. Everything about your life will be tested. Because you are leaving what you are used to and coming into something that you don't even have an idea how it works. Over time, you're going to adjust. You're going to understand, okay, this is how it works. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is how to get ahead and all that. But in the meantime, I'm telling you, family is important. And it's very good. It's a good feeling to be coming back from all the stress and all the hard day, all the hustle and everything, and you're coming back to peace. You're coming back to support. You're coming back to love. You're coming back to a sweet massage. Maybe sometimes not massage, but you know what I mean. You're coming back to a nice cooked meal, a happy wife, happy kids. It's a good feeling. Your home should be like your sanctuary. You should be like, somewhere you're coming to rest, not somewhere that you're finished fighting war outside. You still come back home and come and fight war. Not like that. That's not how it works. Yeah. So please have these conversations. They are difficult conversations to have, especially when it involves trying to unlearn and relearn. It's very difficult because you're trying to like literally shed off what you've learned over your whole life, and then trying to like learn new things. It's hard. And then leaving your comfort, what you're used to, your food, your friends, your family, it's a whole lot to take in. Different experience totally. But with family, with love, and with your teammates, there's nothing you cannot do. Okay? Alright, I will see you in my next video. Just share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and please like and subscribe. Have a blessed weekend.